What's up guys, this is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we've got something pretty special for you. We've got the brand new pistol from Walther for 2021. This is what everybody's been waiting for. This is the Walther PDP, the Performance Duty Pistol. This is actually the full-size version right here. As you can see, I have the extended beaver tail on it there. It comes with extra back straps. I got the big old hands, so I put the bigger back strap on it, but it comes to you like this, so you have 3 back straps in a box. This one also has a Trijicon SRO on it. I think it looks pretty nice, and I love that the gun comes optics ready. This is kind of an awesome little mix between the Walther PPQ and the new steel frame match that came out a year or two ago that I absolutely loved. Has the lineage and the history of all the Walther pistols from the P38 to the PPK, now to the PPQ, and to the steel frame match, and now finally to the PDP. As all of you guys know, I'm a pretty big fan of Walthers, so when they asked me if I wanted to do a release for them and do some testing for them, I said absolutely. So I got these guns a couple of days ago, and we're actually going to take these out and shoot them for the first time. Been fondling them, looking at them, and kind of drooling over them for the past few days, but here in Iowa, it's actually about 30-ish below right now with wind chill, and has been for about 2 weeks. It was so cold that our power actually shut off this morning. So we're going to film this little bit here where I talk about it inside, then we're going to go outside and shoot it. Then I'm going to come back inside and warm up a little bit and give you my first impressions of both these two pistols. So this is the duty size gun with the 4.5-inch barrel. Comes in right around the 26-ounce mark, making it very light, just like the standard PPQ. PPQ is well known for a couple things. Very reliable, very accurate, good ergonomics, awesome trigger, and it's very light. And they've kept all that with the PDP, but they've added a few things as well. One of my biggest complaints about the PPQ is the texture. They fixed that. That was the biggest thing I was interested in when I first heard about this pistol. Think like M&P 2.0 texture on a PPQ. Plus it has these super deep serrations now, which is really nice for an optics ready gun. The gun comes optics ready right out of the box with plates as well, which is awful nice considering my VP9 optics ready pistol did not come with plates out of the box and I had to spring for extra. So right out of the box you get the plate like you should, and you can mount your optic right away. The reason why I like those super deep serrations is because if you do have an optic, you lose a little bit of space there to operate the slide. Now, if you have some really deep serrations on the front, you can do that press check operation that I like to do so much, and you don't have to worry about bumping zero on your optic. Comes with new sights as well. It still uses the PPQ barrel, I believe, but all the rest of the internals on the slide are changed, and the dimensions and even look of the slide is significantly different as well. Picatinny rail there makes the gun look really mean, matches right up with the end, and it has those awesome ergonomics that the PPQ had already with a brand new trigger. Now don't worry about it because the PPQ actually had the best trigger on the market to begin with, and this one in my personal opinion is a little bit better. Obviously I'm going to give you my exact opinions when I go shoot the gun, but just messing with the gun right now, the trigger feels a little bit lighter, and it has a really short reset as well, and a really positive reset, which should make for a very fast shooting gun. The compact, obviously made for a more concealed carry sort of mindset, still has all the features that I just talked about. However, it's just got a 4-inch barrel, and it comes in at a featherweight 23.5 ounces, which is even a little bit lighter than the Glock 19. Should make this a real pocket sniper pistol. So with that being said, let's go to the range, shoot the crap out of it. Hopefully we don't have any issues with the cold. Sometimes cold has an effect on pistols, but hey, I can't change the weather in Iowa, and I'm not going to wait another second to shoot these guns.
Hey, at least it's not windy.
That's true.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, so we're out here in about, what, -20, something like that right now. That's a good time.
Something
And we
like
also
that.
walked through about 100 yards of
Deep ass snow
to get here. So my cardio is not what it used to be. I'm a little under the weather. And we're gonna zero the optic now, and then we'll cut her loose. All right, You want to go take a look at that group real quick?
Sure, let me just walk through. Oh, it's gonna be some rough video today because I can barely walk in this.
All right, so that was my first kind of group. I was just kind of quick firing and playing around. This was my second group.
Wow.
And as you can see, that's about 12 yards or so. Pistol's very accurate. We're just gonna move her up here a little bit. We'll be good to go.
Whoa, whoa, I fell. That's such deep snow. Oh my goodness. That's why I'm falling. Whew.
I'm gonna stand up on the snow right here.
There you go.
All right, so now that we got it zeroed, we're gonna cut her loose a little bit here and have some fun. All right, no slide lock back. Big slide lever there, big dumb thumbs equals the slide doesn't lock back because I ride the slide release. Ho ho, I like this.
It is not fazed by the weather at all.
It is not, no. I am a little bit, but so the texture really does help. A little bit less recoil and pulse than the PPQ. Part of that's the texture, part of that's the higher ride beaver tail. Trigger's phenomenal. You're gonna love this. All right, so now we got the compact here. This has 15 round magazines and we'll just see how it does. I'm rocking the iron sights. It's got adjustable 3-dot white sights on it there.
Fun times. Your alarm's going off.
That sucks. Got snot all over myself. Freezing out here.
Fine.
A little bit more snappy on the compact, but obviously going to be considerably easier to carry. Texture really does help. I like that magazine release as well. Love the undercut. This is really what I've been saying all along. With a couple of upgrades to the PPQ, it could be the best gun. And this is certainly a contender for one of the best guns on the market right now as far as polymer frame pistols go. Even this compact shoots stupid fast. Recoil and pulse is a little like the PPQ, except maybe a little bit less. Kind of similar to a Glock 19 or even an M&P now. The white dot sights, they're good, but I personally would probably upgrade these sights and or put an optic on it. I think the whole point of guns today is pretty much to put an optic on it. It's got a really good optics mounting system that's really low cut in the gun, as you see there. And overall, I'm getting to be more of an optics guy anyway, so I do prefer having the SRO on top of it. We're gonna have to do a lot more with the compact in the future, but here when we start moving back a little bit, we're gonna start shooting the full size a little bit more just because it's way easier with the SRO. Oh, we're on the slide release again. So the recoil and pulse on the full size is significantly better for me. I got the big hands. If I were gonna carry one, a 4.5-inch gun with a full 18 round magazine capacity is a pretty sweet deal. Very similar to the Glock 17, but just add a round or so without adding any length, which is pretty nice as well. The restrictions are easy to use, and the gun has been 100% reliable thus far, even in -20, which I think is pretty impressive.
Okay, that one doesn't like me. Oh, I'm out.
What do you think?
It actually had a little more recoil than I expected.
Yeah,
so
I noticed it was jumping out of your hands a little bit there.
Yeah, it kind of messed me up a little bit, but I really do like it overall.
Well, one of the reasons for that is you can't fight physics, you know?
Right.
And honestly, it's so lightweight that it's gonna feel like a lot more recoil than something like a 42 ounce, you know, 1911 or something like that.
Which is my other favorite thing.
Right.
Shoot. So.
And for me, I can control the recoil really well because I get a good squeeze. And because it has good texture, I can hold on to it and kind of force it down and stop it from recoiling quite as much. Whereas, you know, it may not show the recoil impulse quite as well as somebody like you, which is why I wanted you to shoot it.
Right, of course.
But when you were missing a few times, and I was rooting for you, but
just couldn't get her.
Yeah, well, we
all have our limitations.
Part of the reason is because of the white targets with the white background and the super sunny day. Beautiful day though for being so cold.
Hell yeah.
All right, so now we're standing in some snow. We're gonna shoot this guy at 50 yards, see how it does. Hopefully we did a pretty good job of zeroing the optic. For a striker fired gun, that's pretty impressive, I'd have to say. The trigger is just super intuitive and easy to use. That's what I've always liked about the PPQ. Really makes you look better than you actually are. Got going a little too fast there. One of the cons that I see on this gun, and I did on the previous PPQ as well, is maybe it's just me, maybe it's a training issue. I shoot a lot of Glocks, I shoot a lot of CZs, in particular a lot of 1911s. And what I usually do is I ride the safety and press down. So what I do a lot is I'll ride this slide release and press down. And when I do that, the slide doesn't lock back on the last round. Not a big deal. If that is something you do frequently and you only shoot striker fired guns, really just work on using the slide to operate the gun instead of the slide release, and you won't have to worry about it anyway. The other thing you could do is, you see your hands here, see your grip? A lot of times when I have a thumbs forward grip like that, if you're running the slide release a lot of times if I'm thinking about it, I'll just press my thumb over and press my thumb down into my support hand instead, and that way I don't have to worry about it either. But either way, it's like I said, it's so cold out here that brain's a little elsewhere sometimes, so I'm kind of impressed that I'm actually getting the accuracy that I am out of the gun.
What kind of gloves are you using?
These are SKD pig gloves of some type. I usually use the alphas. These are something new. Maybe they're just the betas. I don't know. I don't know the difference. I'm not big on Roman numerals.
SKD pig gloves.
Yeah. All right, so far the PDP is running extremely well, and we're hitting pretty much whatever we're aiming at. Now we're back here at about 80 yards. Yeah, we'll see. We're biting off more than we can chew here, but I think she can do it no problem. My breath is obscuring my vision.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Oh, running that slide release again. Just gave a demo on how to do that. And I do it anyway.
Bad habits.
All right, there we go. Getting a little chilly, starting to affect my accuracy a little bit, but when I do my part, squeeze that trigger perfect, gun goes right where it's supposed to. One of the more accurate polymer frame guns I've ever shot, just like the PPQ, just like the VP9. I'd like to see which one's more accurate, so what we're gonna do here in the next couple of weeks is we're gonna compare this with the brand new VP9 long slide, optics ready version, put an SRO on this one, put an SRO on that one, maybe do a little back-to-back comparison. I have a feeling they're gonna be about the same. All in all, the trigger is phenomenal, and the gun recoils really well, at least for me. With a super lightweight gun like this, you're gonna have a little bit lighter recoil, or a little bit heavier recoil than something like a Staccato P or CZ75 or something like that. So when you did see my wife shoot it, it did jump out of her hands a little bit, but if you do have good recoil control, you can maintain it really well. That being said, I sort of feel like I can go back further. What do you think? Think we should go back to like 100, 110?
Oh geez.
All right, so we got our last 12 rounds here. So whether we hit it or not, it's really up to me. We're at about 100, 105 yards, well below zero, and my cardio ain't what it used to be. I'll take that. Take that any day of the week, twice on Sunday. All right, so I'll give you my first impressions of the Walther PDP. First off, the accuracy for me is pretty unparalleled. Just like any of the other pre-cocked striker guns, by the way, Walther came out with theirs first, like the VP9 or even the Canik series, the trigger's insane. And on this one, it's even better. The first stage is even a little bit lighter, and then the break is the best in the business, no question. The reset on the trigger is really impressive as well. You can see here. Able to give you really fast follow-up shots, which I liked a lot. I liked the compact version, and if I was gonna carry one, it would obviously be this one. But if I'm gonna shoot it on the range, I gotta tell you, the full size is where it's at. I really love shooting this, so much so that we actually shot 100 extra rounds than we normally do for the First Shots videos. We actually put about 200 rounds through this guy, and then about 75 to 100 rounds through this guy. We shot this at about 105 yards after I was already tired and I was cold and everything like that. And because the trigger is so good, you can kind of be a little more forgiving with your trigger pull, and some other guns that you would normally miss with, you're gonna hit with this guy. That's similar advantage that you have on something like a tuned up CZ or a 2011 or a 1911 or something like that. But on this particular gun, you can get this for a lot cheaper. So these guns are going around for about $600 or so. I'm not sure the availability where you're gonna be able to get them. I'm assuming a lot of places. And for $600, this is a pretty impressive gun, at least for 2021. Comes with all the features that you're going to need right out of the box. The only thing I'd probably change is maybe the sights. However, the sights aren't really an issue if you're going to throw an optic on it like I did anyway. Overall, I like the serrations a lot. I like the pick rail. It just looks mean. Sometimes they do a pick rail really well, and it really enhances the look of the gun. The squared off trigger guard looks cool as well. The texture was something I've wanted Walther to do for a really long time, and they finally did it. So at least they're listening to their customers. The 18 round magazine capacity out of the box is really cool. So 18 plus 1, 19 rounds in the gun. For a 26 ounce, 4.5 inch gun, that's a really good capacity. The only downside I'd really say aside from the sights is probably going to be the recoil impulse for some smaller stature shooters like my wife. My wife had a bit of an issue getting fast follow-up shots. To me, recoil control matters more in the trigger because I can hold the gun on target already and use good technique and that kind of thing and run the trigger really quickly. So the only thing that really holds me back from shooting quick is a long reset on the trigger. This has a very short reset, so that didn't bother me. I think the recoil is kind of similar to a Glock 19, Glock 17, but again, they're the same weight, so it makes a lot of sense. We're gonna do a 1,000 round review of this, absolutely. Slide release is something you're gonna have to get used to, although that's similar on a lot of guns. You can see it runs out here really well, so if you're a smaller statured shooter, you can hit it relatively easy. Downside to that, for me at least, is that I ride it all the time, and the slide doesn't always lock back. That's something you could easily fix with training. Problem is I shoot so many different guns. Hey, I shoot how I shoot. Overall though, not a lot of bad things to say about it other than that, and I think it's more than worth the price it comes out. And we're going to be doing a top 5 best new guns of 2021. I have the new FN 509, I also have the new H&K, and I have a few other cool guns as well that you might not have seen yet. So we're going to do a list of that, and this is definitely going to be on there somewhere. We're also going to be doing a comparison of this versus the VP9 because right now they're my 2 personal favorites. We'll see which one's better, but overall this gun is pretty amazing. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.